Okay. Welcome to Community Crossfire. You're on the air.
Yeah, this is Mike Reyes from Pastor Cristiano.
Okay.
Um, I would like to ask Darius Brown, what plan does he have to approach the Latino, or to reach out to the Latino community in the third district, especially the Christian Latino community? Yeah. What plan does he have if he get elected in the third district? You know, if he has any plan to reach out to the Latinos, and if he have any specific, because we do have a large Latino community in that area. So if he can answer that question to me, I would be more than happy to hear his answer.
Okay, sure. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And Mike is one of those people that has changed attitudes over time as a leader and a go-to person within the Hispanic community. I'm not, I'm not playing with semantics. I wouldn't say that the third district has a large population of Hispanic Latinos, but it is definitely a growing population. Okay. As Mike probably well knows, about a month and a half ago, the op-ed that I wrote was on diversity. The month of April is National Diversity Month.
Right.
And so I outlined within that the growing populations within the state, which number one is the Hispanic Latino community. As some of you may know, I'm a leadership fellow in Washington, D.C. at the Center for American Progress. And what our policy project on in D.C. is around Project 2050, which is a product of the United States Census 2010, the 2010 census, which said by the year 2050, the United States would be a majority minority community. Not saying it would be majority Hispanic or majority black, but all of those minorities combined would be the majority of our country.
So you will be working with them?
Yes.
Okay, great. Welcome to Community Crossfire. You're on the line.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm
this
doing
is Josie.
Hey, how you doing, Sister Josie?
I'm doing good. Hi, Darius.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm just calling in. I'm listening to Darius talk about the commitment and about the change in attitudes, the community. I was in a meeting not long ago, and there was a person, a real prominent person that lives in the city of Wilmington, and said that in 8 years, and he said it around 3 or 4 times, but in 8 years he had not seen his council rep that represented him in that district. What is it what needs to be done to change the attitude of these politicians once they're elected, that you no longer see them? Once they're in office, that's the end of it. And I think that's why people do have attitudes, because once we put you in office, that's the end of it. It's like, we don't need you no more, don't need your vote. So you're running, Darius. What can the people expect, being that you're the one bringing this up, to hold you accountable as well as the other politicians to change this attitude, to make sure that if you are elected and all those who are elected, that I will not hear what I heard that person say, that in 8 years he said he had been there and he never seen his council rep. That's a disgrace, and that person, whoever is in that district that represents them, if I was living in that district, they would never have to worry about getting a vote from me, because God knows I would not only vote, I wouldn't even want to see them. So I want you to answer that question for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, that goes back to the first part of the 4, which I think for tonight, Mike, I think the renewal part is obviously something that the viewers are very concerned with, because of the lack of engagement within our community.
Okay.
But for me, I've always been engaged. Every person that is called, Julius Cephas, he knows that I'm engaged, and we've had plenty of conversations. Mike Reyes, we've had plenty of conversations. He knows that I'm engaged. And Miss Josie, I see Miss Josie maybe every week at some type of community meeting, and we're constantly engaged. But for me as a council person, my pledge is to be a council person that will not just come knocking on the resident's door for a vote.
How do those who are are not really interacting, can they reset their clock, and how would they go about transitioning into becoming more engaged?
I can't speak for elected officials. I can speak for neighborhoods and being a part of a neighborhood and understanding that my civic participation in my civic association. I know everyone's going to say their lives are busy. I know everyone's going to say it's hard for them to get there on that date. You know, civic associations meet at most 12 times a year.
Yeah.
And if it's a priority for you, then you would make into that civic association meeting a priority. Now, on the elected official side, particularly in the 3rd District, I want to remind 3rd District residents that this person was not someone that was elected. He was selected.
Okay.
And he was selected by members of city council. So the residents of the 3rd District did not have the opportunity to elect this person.
Okay.
And so with that, some of the disengagement that I've heard within the district is because the actual residents didn't get a chance to qualify him.
Okay. Let's get